Tamika Hall Radio Show. The Tamika Hall Radio Show. The Tamika Hall Radio Show. Tamika Hall Radio Show.
Make sure that you tune into GospelInsiderNews.com every single day because we're releasing news stories as they become available. As fast as we can get them, we're releasing them. Now, without further ado, I want to introduce Tanyha Boyd of Faith of Believer to the show. Tanyha, how are you doing tonight?
Well, hello, my sister. How are you?
I am doing awesome.
I am super excited to be here.
Yes, I'm excited to have you on here as well. I'm telling you, ever since we've been putting it out there that we're going to be talking about marketing and branding and all of those great things, I know that my inbox has been flooded with different questions, and so I'm excited to have you here. Now, I mean, you're not going to toot your own horn, but that's where my job comes in. A lot of people may not know that you are actually my publicist, and so I felt like, a lot of people know me, and they know that when it comes to being able to market myself, I'm pretty good at it. But I was telling people, I said, man, she's better at it than I am. She knows stuff that I don't know. She's been an incredible mentor, and so I knew that we needed to have you on here. Now, to just get started, Tanyha, how did you get started in the world of marketing?
I've been in marketing for over 20 years. I've been working for a top entertainment company, and that was the field that I selected to choose to go in, and just been marketing different films, different people's works. And one day the opportunity presented itself, and I just stepped in. While the door was open, I just stepped in and been branching out, and people have been coming to me. I've been assisting others as far as mentoring them and telling them what things they need to do to get to that next level. And basically that's how it really all started. I didn't know it was going to take me to this particular level in my life, and I just thank God for the grace that He has given me to move and drive forward in doing what I have the passion to do, and that is to empower others and to inspire others to walk in their God-given purpose and to fulfill their dream and to see it to come to fruition.
Awesome. I mean, I think that's amazing that, God has given you the ability to be able to, let's be real, just get in where you fit in. Sometimes you just can't say it any other way but that. Now, I mean, you've launched Faith of Believer, and I would love for you just to be able to explain very quickly before we get into the meat of what we're going to talk about, what Faith of Believer is all about.
Faith of Believer actually started, I launched a book club called Faith of Believer's Virtual Book Club. And there it was a platform for other authors to showcase their books. Me being an author myself, I found that people didn't have a platform where they can showcase their works, and some people didn't understand that, writing a book and being an author is a ministry. So God
Absolutely.
gave me it's a ministry, and a lot of people don't realize that the gift of writing. And I like what your previous guest just stated in just in her ability to write. Things just come to her so naturally that she has to stop and just jot it down for her. So I created this platform for other authors and a community for other aspiring authors to get together and share their experiences as authors and share their works. And then it branched off from there, it just spiraled from there. That was about, 4 years ago that I launched Faith of Believers Virtual Book Club.
And how many authors would you say have you been able to kind of propel into being known? I mean, because you mentor a lot of people, and I'm telling you, every week, literally, nearly a dozen books I'm seeing coming across, the virtual pages of Faith of Believers. So, how many authors would you say that you've worked with so far?
Dozens of authors now, and I'm working with a few best-selling authors to take them to that next level. And, of course, you mentioned how I'm working with you. just to see you go to a next, that next level in your life. Sometimes we reach that plateau, and it's time. It's like when we work out and we reach that plateau of, I got to just these 5 more pounds, that we have to do something a little different in order for us to burn off those 5 extra pounds off. And so that's basically what I'm doing with certain authors, to just take them to that next level. And then I have a group of authors who are just starting out, that I'm kind of mentoring them and cultivate them to how to brand themselves, and we're going to get into that a little later, and how to market themselves and talk about publicity. So I do a lot of things. Like I tell a lot of people, I'm a woman of many wigs.
Yes, you
and
are.
Depending on what we're doing, I know I talked to you one time. So, wait a minute, let me take off my marketing wig. I got to put on my publicity wig. Okay, now I'm ready to go. So,
yes, for those that are listening, I went to Tanyha and I said, look, I know you work with books, but I need somebody that's going to connect with me divinely, that gets ministry, that gets the marketing, and that can really help propel the things that I'm trying to do. And that's exactly what Tanyha said to me. She said, wait a second, let me put my marketing wig on. And in my mind, I could almost imagine you putting on this marketing wig,
Absolutely.
I just
put it on.
Yes.
I put it on. I'm like, okay, we're ready. Let's go.
Yes.
So maybe we could do this. We could do X, Y, and Z. Have you thought about doing this? I do a consultation. It's very important for me to do a consultation with people. When I get together with people, I don't know if you could testify this, I feel their passion. I feel their dreams.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm and I can't stress this enough. I get very emotional about other people's dreams and their passions, that they come to fruition. Life is but a vapor. See, now this is my inspirational side talking. This is my inspirational way talking.
This is the inspirational
Life is but a vapor.
Mm-hmm.
Life is but a vapor. And, I find that when people, when they're gone, I say to myself, did they fulfill their dreams? Did they fulfill their purpose? I would hate to leave here and not fulfill my purpose or leave a legacy for my family or for someone else to walk in.
Absolutely.
Does that make sense?
It does make sense. I mean, and honestly, I think that is a perfect segue into, what we're here to talk about, which is marketing. And I would love for, in your words, you to just kind of tell us, what exactly is marketing? Because I think some people don't understand exactly what it is. So what exactly is marketing?
Okay, let me talk about marketing. Originally, when we say marketing, it's how we're going to market something. How are we going to, what is our target market? It's very important to have a marketing plan so you can lay out the ABCs. What type of product and who are you going to hit with that product? So if it's if it's an egg, who are you going to target with that egg?
Mm-hmm.
Who's going to scramble that egg? Who's going to fry that egg? There's so many things we can do with an egg. We can boil that egg. So who are we going to target with that egg? So we want to market it geared to that target audience.
Right.
So when you put together your product, you have to know who your target audience is that you're going to be marketing to. You need to know what the demographics are. So if it's a male or a female, if it's children, if it's from the age of 14 to 25 or ages 2 to 10, you need to know what your target aim is. So you need to write the vision and make it plain.
So basically, in other words, your target. I'm sorry. So basically, what you're saying is the target audience. Those are the people that want to know your product or your ministry. They're the ones that are going to want to know more about you.
Exactly.
Mhm. Mm-hmm. Now, what I would love to just ask you about is, we're talking about marketing. We're talking about marketing a ministry. I want to ask you: do you feel like it's okay for us to think about marketing a ministry or ministry marketing, however somebody wants to say it? Because oftentimes when we talk about worship and the gospel and different things like that, a lot of times people are afraid to think about things like public relations and marketing because, they oftentimes feel like things should happen spontaneous or what have you. So I want you to kind of clear that up. Is it okay for us to think about marketing and ministry, in the same sentence?
In my opinion, yes, it is okay to think about marketing and ministry. God tells us to go into all the world and preach the good news. So we have to be able to market, and we have to be strategic in our marketing. If I can use my Bishop T.D. Jakes as an example, the way he markets his products, I mean, if we just look at from where he started up until where he is now, writing the books, he wrote books, and they market the books. They target those books. Then he went to writing movies, producing movies. So yes, there is a market. There is a Christian market. We like to spend money. So we need to market ourselves. And when we market, and look at Tyler Perry. When we market, we're marketing with a message. Yes. The message is always going back. If we're talking about ministry, the message is always going back. It's about Jesus Christ.
Absolutely. I mean, when we talk about Jesus, I always tell everyone that he was the best. He was the original PR agent. He knew exactly how to go out there, and he went into all of the world. And, everywhere he went, he left an imprint on people. And to me, I think marketing is about that. It's about showcasing what it is that you have, what it is that you can give to folks, whether it's a book or whether you sing or you preach or whatever it might be. And then when you walk away, you leave an imprint so that they then want to turn around and tell other people about you or your product or your service. So when we're talking about marketing,
and we're planting, and when we're marketing, we're planting seeds.
Yes.
The scripture tells us one water, one plants, but God will send the increase. So we're dropping seeds. When Bishop Jake does his movie, when Tyler Perry does his movies, and people go to the theater, they're dropping seeds. That is spiritual food for thought. Okay, that was a cheap plug, but that was spiritual food for thought. When they go and see their movies, when people pick up your books, that is spiritual food for thought. We are planting seeds. And how do we do that? We have to be strategic in our marketing. We market. So, yes, there is definitely room, I would say, for ministries to market.
Now, one of the things that I'm just going to kind of recap some of what you said. I mean, we've talked about the fact that, marketing is about marketing the ministry, marketing the message, actually getting the message out there. And then you also talked a lot about demographics and your target audience, those people that you believe or those people that you are directing your product or service to. Now, when you're doing that, you're kind of establishing a brand. You're establishing something that people are going to always think about. When you think about, everybody will say, go get a Coke and a smile, or you think about the Golden Arches when you think about McDonald's. Those are their brands. And so I really wanted to bring you on here to give just a couple of nuggets just about, number one, what is it to brands? And I want you to kind of give us at least 3 of those nuggets of, some ways that we can begin branding ourselves.
Sure. When we first thought of branding, first thing came to mind was cattle. People, when you brand, you would put that stamp of ownership on a cow, and now let people know, this is my cow. But let me tell you what brand is not. Brand is not a logo. Brand is not advertising. Brand is not marketing or corporate identity. I'm going to give you 3. If you have pen and paper, I'm going to tell you what the 3 ways to establish your brand. What brand is? The brand is whatever is unique to you for your product or service. One of the most important assets you can do to develop your business is having a powerful brand. Brand is just not the logos and the tags. The brand is a culmination of who you are, how you're different from your competitor, and why a buyer should do business with you. So let me say that again.
Yes.
A brand is a combination of things. Brand is who you are, how you're different from your competitor, and why a buyer should do business with you.
Wow. Okay. Okay, so it's a culmination of who you are. And I'm sorry, I knew I had a little pause there, but that's because I'm taking notes. I feel like I'm back in college. It's who you are, how you're different from your competition, and why a buyer should purchase from you. So how do we begin to develop that?
That's when you start to write down what is your brand, what is the mission that you're trying to accomplish with your brand. Okay. Now, how would somebody know that? Like, your brand is going to represent who you are. So that could be in your mission statement. The brand is who you are. I'm Faith, a believer. I'm a woman of faith and a believer of God. Faith, a believer. I'm a woman of faith and a believer of God. So the brand is, I'm working faith. What is faith? Faith is the substance of things hoped for and an evidence of things not seen. So what is faith doing? Faith is dropping seeds. She's dropping seeds on Facebook. Wherever she is, she's dropping seeds of faith. What is faith? That is who you are.
Okay, and then so I know your first nugget. You said what is unique to you for your product or your service. Okay, and then you just said that number one, you got to figure out who you are. What if somebody has a bunch of talents wrapped up in, as one person? Is it possible for them to create a brand of themselves, or do you believe that a person should only focus on one thing?
Well, we all have many gifts and talents, is what the Bible tells us. We have many gifts and talents. God had many gifts and talents. He was a carpenter. He was a preacher. He was everything. Sure, you can brand everything in, but you have to make sure you focus on. So if someone is hiring you for something or you're doing something, let's say you're a psalmist. You're one. You're a threefold cord, not easily broken. You have many gifts and talents. So you're an author, a best-selling author. And you won't toot your horn, so I'll toot it. You're a best-selling author. You're a playwright. You're a fashion designer. You're a news columnist. So you have all of these things wrapped up into one. It's very important that we don't box ourselves in, because that is multiple. Now I'm going to get into something else. Now that is multiple streams of income. Let's look at Oprah. If I can use Oprah for an example.
Sure, I love Oprah.
Let's look at Oprah. Let's look at Oprah and her brand. She has the old network, and the old network has just branched out to doing different. She has the magazine. She has different networks within that one umbrella.
She does, and but I will tell you that I have gone through years of people always saying, you're doing too much, you need to focus on just one thing. And so for me, it's refreshing to hear you say you shouldn't box yourself in. I mean, I think that's why it's important that when you're building a brand that you have a strategy for actually putting it all together, which is why you were very instrumental for me. And so like I said, I know we've been focusing, number one, on what makes you unique, what makes you or your product unique. What's your second nugget that you wanted to drop on everybody tonight?
Why would a person want to buy your product? Why should someone do business with you?
Now, how do you begin to showcase that? I mean, is that something that we're just supposed to write? Are we supposed to just say it? How do we display that?
Well, it depends on. Well, it would depend, but I would say mostly be able to communicate. You got to be able to communicate about your product. You have to be confident in your product. If you don't have the confidence in your product, people are going to know that. So if you meet someone, you have to be confident. You have to 30 seconds. You have to have that pitch and be able to communicate what your product is and how is it going to impact me. How would I be able to use it? So if it's toothpaste, this toothpaste, not only will it whiten your teeth, it will give you a minty fresh breath, and your teeth will be pearly white. So every time you smile, ding, ding, people are going to take notice in you. So I would like for you to purchase my toothpaste. So now you establish what the toothpaste is going to do for me. So what are you going to do for me? What's going to make me want to buy your product?
And then when we follow it up, I know that the third thing you're talking about is how are you different from your competition? Now, I really want us to talk about this because you think about it. There are, every day a new author is born. Every day you have a new host on Blog Talk Radio. Every day there's somebody else that's doing what we're doing. I mean, is there ever a time when you should kind of just say, you know what, there's too many of this particular person in this field, and maybe this is not for me? Should people ever think like that?
No, I would say, just to be unique. What is unique in yourself? No one can do what you do. I had a guest on, Xena Sai, and she wrote a book, Don't Hate Me Because I'm Beautiful. And during that interview, she made some key valid points on, I can't do what she does. She said, and you can't do what I do. Only what's unique to me. Your show is your show, and that's the way you host your show. You're unique at it. So what you want to think about is, what is it in me that makes me so unique than anyone else? And be confident in that. Own it.
Now, Latanya, what I'd like to ask you is that, again, I'm going to recap. You said, who are you? Who are you? What is your, who are you? What is your product? Then you said, why should people buy that from you? Why should people buy your book or buy your CD or connect with you? And then you said, how are you different from your competition? And so then I wanted to ask you this, because I know we're giving a lot of information in a short amount of time, but do you feel like, should a person just know all of this stuff, or is this stuff that really we should take time to reflect on it and to, really develop, this beginning stage of creating our brand? Because a lot of people make you feel like if you can't give them those answers right off the bat, they make you feel like you don't know what you're doing or that you haven't been called to the ministry that you're in.
Well, you definitely have to have a passion. You got to have a passion for your product. If you don't have a passion for your product, then who will? It's going to reflect. I would say do research. Again, that comes to your marketing plan. Do research about your product. And be comfortable and secure in your product. You have to be comfortable and secure in your product. I'm telling you, if you're not, then people are not going to buy it.
You're right.
Research. You always want to empower yourself. If you're an author, I would advise join other book clubs. Go to a writing class. Avail yourself and expose yourself to other writers. Build a network, a community of other writers. And now that's a good segue back into Faith of Believers Virtual Book Club. That's what it's all about. So if you're an aspiring writing or if you're a writer, that's what it's all about, a community to connect with other avid readers and writers.
Awesome. And for that person that's a business owner of some type, what would be your suggestion for them? Maybe they haven't written a book, but maybe they have created a new business or even a nonprofit organization. I mean, what you're talking about tonight, does this work for any field, or, is this primarily for authors or what have you?
No, that's cross-platform. So if you know someone else who's a business owner or who's an entrepreneur, definitely communicate with them. What makes your business? How do you strive? How did you get to that level? And look for mentors. It's important to have mentors.
Absolutely,
who will mentor
I totally
you
agree.
And not feel that, if I give you this information, you're going to surpass me. For me, if I mentor you, I need you to surpass me. Otherwise, I'm not a great leader.
Right. I mean, honestly, if we think about it, there's enough room for everybody. I mean, one person cannot touch every single person in this world, and so, that's one of the things that I said to you. I love the fact that with you, we do have a mentoring relationship where, everybody can't tell me, Tamika, you need to do X, Y, and Z, but you're one of those few people that are allowed to tell me that, to say, Tamika, where can you please update your bio or, whatever it might be, it's nice to be able to have somebody that you trust, with the things that God has given you. And so, Latanya, I understand that you are actually getting ready to release a teleseminar where you're going to actually get more into the nuts and bolts of being able to market your ministry. I mean, I know tonight we just talked about the things that we can do to establish a brand. And, I mean, if I might say, I agree with you when you told everybody to take notes. I think that if we could answer those questions, those that are listening, I would suggest beginning to answer those questions on a sheet of paper and then begin to just tweak it, as you go along so that you can understand truly what your ministry is, your business, what it is, and, what you're wanting to do with it. But you're getting ready to actually launch a teleseminar. Talk to us about Ministry Marketing 101.
Absolutely. So I'm going to be doing a teleseminar very shortly in a couple of months, actually in a month, on Marketing Tips 101, as you mentioned. And I'm going to give you key nuggets and steps on how to brand yourself, how to market yourself, and how to just to draft up maybe a marketing plan for you so you can get the understanding and the basis of how to grow your business. I'm going to give you this, and this is just sidebar. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're doing business online, please make sure your stuff is tight a little bit. I don't want to see a photo with you, picture in the bathroom, ding, and the shower curtains in the background. That's not a headshot. You need a professional. You need a professional headshot. I know we all have to start somewhere. I know I'll tell my testimony. When I started, I was really trying to do it on my own, and that's not where my strong point, that's not where my anointing lie is graphics. That's not where my anointing lies. Mm-hmm. So I have to have someone to do that, to create that. Go ahead and invest in yourself and have someone do that for you.
Absolutely. Because we were speaking to an author tonight, and so I'll just go on authors, for example. I do publish, and one of the things that always hurts me is when somebody has a book cover. You've invested a bunch of time, you've invested finances into your book, but then the book cover does not grab you. And, like you said, it's important to invest in yourself and to invest in your business, and I really believe, because I've done it, I launched my publishing company with $50. And I really believe that even if you are on a shoestring budget, you don't have to walk around and look like, who shot John? I couldn't think of another analogy. That wasn't a good one. But you know what I mean.
You have to look like a hoondata.
Yeah. Look, I'm using phrases from my grandmother. But, yes, you don't have to walk around like that. I really believe that there's a way to be able to connect with people and to make sure, like you said, that your stuff is tight. If you're going to have a website, Latanya, we talked a little bit about the branding, but in terms of beginning to showcase yourself, if I may just say for people, I don't understand how people exist nowadays without a website. A website is paramount. Everybody now is on social media. And honestly, before somebody will pick up the phone to call you, a lot of times they will go on Google or Yahoo or whatever and try to find out who you are. And they automatically want to say, well, what's your website? I don't know. Do you get that, Latanya, where people, they might hear who you are and the things that you do, and they'll say, hey, well, do you have a website? A lot of times they ask you that before they ask for your business card now. Do you get that?
Right. Yes, I do get that. I do get that.
Yeah, so to me, I agree. It's important to make sure that your stuff is tight. Get a nice website, and you can do it yourself, but make sure that it looks professional. And so those are definitely just some things to begin to start marketing the brand. Well, Latanya, how can people connect with you outside of here? We've been sitting here talking about all the things that you do. You have the seminar that's getting ready to come up, and that people can attend without ever leaving their home, which nowadays is great because gas is too high. I'm sorry to say it. But how can people connect with you off air?
Well, they can also reach me via email. It's Faith in Order. So it's FAITHIN Order at yahoo.com. I'm also on Facebook. I'm under Faith A Believer. Faith A Believer. ABELIEVER. I also have a radio show. It's called Spiritual Food for Thought Global Radio. Spiritual Food for Thought Global Radio. So you can find me on there, and my website is faithabeliever.com. And I'm currently working on a new website, and I'll have that information and be posting that all over the place. We'll probably have a little launching of that.
Yeah, that'll be nice.
And that's another thing I like to share with your listening audience. Be creative. Don't be afraid to be creative. That's what it's all about. Be creative on how you market, how you use publicity, but be strategic in your creativity on how you want to target your market. these social media is definitely an avenue you can use. If you're an author, I could definitely suggest another tidbit: create an author page.
Yes, I learned that.
And not your personal page. You want to create an author page. So if you're into potatoes, you need to create a page just for your potato page and not your personal page.
Mhm. So it's okay, you're saying, to have multiple pages, like, for example, on Facebook. Now, I'll tell you, I'm a person, I have like 7 or 8 of them. I don't even know how many I have anymore. But with everything that I do, to me, it just never made sense to keep everything under one thing. So you're saying that's actually okay to do that?
Yeah, because you have your personal page, and that's just, personal page is for family and friends, It's just for family. But if I'm doing business, then I have my business page. I don't intertwine the two. Business is business and family is family. So I keep them separate. See, that's where you can put on your personal page. That's where you can put that bathroom picture. But on my professional page, I'm not going to do that.
Right. Well, please, no bathroom pictures, period, folks. None. No. Especially when you're grown. Oh, my God. Please stop. Don't do it. But LaTanyha, this has just been a wonderful time with you. I mean, you've given us a lot of wisdom in just about a half an hour's amount of time. I mean, I can't wait to attend the teleseminar. One more time, give us the way that we can reach you off air.
Sure. My email is faithinorder@yahoo.com. My email is faithabeliever.com. On Facebook, I'm under Faith, a Believer. And I also have a radio show called Spiritual Food for Thought Global Radio.
Awesome. Thank you so much, LaTanyha. I really appreciate your time here. And, folks, don't be sad. She'll be coming back to us every single month as our expert marketing professional. So she'll be giving us marketing minutes every single month. And so thank you so much, LaTanyha. I appreciate your time tonight.
Well, I want to thank you for the opportunity to be able to share and empower your audience. And I hope I was very helpful for them. So thank you so much for allowing me to come on air with you.